Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builders Supply. In this video is to bring you a closer look at the Xero number 65A. This is a 5-inch, half-inch tall rabbeted threshold, sometimes called a bump-up style, sometimes referred to as a latch track style threshold. They call it a rabbeted threshold because it has a rabbet in the face of the frame. This feature right here. If you can imagine in your mind's eye the threshold without this insert, you would certainly see that rabbet. Bump up style, it's a very descriptive way to describe a threshold like this because it bumps up to the face of that seal, making a nice, positive, continuous seal that will tolerate the frame being slightly, the jambs being perhaps slightly towed a little bit because of the amount of compression that you'll have on the face of the insert. The height of this threshold is a bit less common, although sometimes it really occurs that it's exactly what you need. And there's an image down below this video that shows the dimensional properties, and let's go over that now. 5-inch wide, has an overall height of ½ inch, and the area in which the door is going to reside is a 1/4 inch tall. And now where would you use this? You would use this in an application where you wanted both a low profile threshold or you had a smaller than standard undercut between the bottom of the door and the sill, where a standard height bump up style threshold will not fit. So you need to go with something smaller. That's common for this as well. Question we get all the time is the dimension of that rabbeted area. And it's shown on that drawing as well. But here's where it falls in terms of the extrusion itself. About 3 5/16 to the face of the aluminum. To the face of the neoprene, it's the 3 1/8 or so that it's called out as. Then the balance of the threshold you can study there. EBF, extruded bulb smoke and draft control neoprene is what this is. I had mentioned the term latch track in the past. There are thresholds like this where this profile to the bottom of the threshold can literally act as the strike plate when you are using surface vertical rod exit devices, namely on pairs of doors. And that's handy because you don't have to then compromise the integrity of the seal by prepping this for a for a strike plate for the concealed vertical rod exit device, and you use it right to the back side of this profile. Okay, 5 inches very compatible with standard hollow metal jam depths as well. This is going to allow you to have that door sit right into that area, and assuming that the door is an outswing, this is going to be a very successful threshold to seal the bottom of the door, but also you might want to consider having a door sweep out on the face of the door that will make contact with the threshold. I don't like to have my barrier of seal on the inside face of the door. I'd like to retard the transmission of that weather out here at the face of the door. So I would still add a door sweep to this. Belt and suspenders sort of approach. Okay, very typical kind of common scenario. Now this is going to be available in the A finish. That means that this is mill finish. The catalog, there is a link, I should say, to the product catalog or cut sheet down below, which will show the 65A available only in a mill aluminum finish, not in the D finish for dark bronze, or B for solid architectural bronze base material. A couple of pages there that you can certainly review. Bump-up style thresholds or rabbeted thresholds, different profiles, widths, and heights. And you would certainly want to review that catalog prior to making a decision if this is the right threshold. Okay, now moving forward with the other link that's on the page to installation. The installation instructions are very simple and straightforward. Measure, cut to length, install. Not a lot to say except caulk underneath and around the edges of the threshold for moisture control. Absolutely. It says screws are provided. They indeed are. Probably a number 10 by maybe 1.25 inches or so, 1.5 inches flathead Phillips sheet metal screws. Cope the frame, or they say notch. You'll certainly need to cope or notch part of this around your installation. The integrity of the installation of the threshold can't be overstated. I really like to use lead anchors that will take a machine bolt. I can drill that hole and seat those lead anchors down like a 1032 and run machine screws down into it with some, even some Loctite. And that really helps long-term performance, maintenance, appropriate, applicable, healthy operation of the threshold. Lots of this and lots of this, especially with the door hitting it all the time. Eventually, that screw can work its way loose, and who hasn't walked over a loose threshold or a threshold that's no longer secure? It's a hazard, quite frankly, in every regard. So consider that. We can help you with more substantial anchors rather than the ones that are implicitly supplied with the threshold if you need. Now, this threshold is in the website in several different lengths, everything from 2 foot to 8 foot, 2-inch, 4-inch, 6-inch increments. If you have need for a custom length, by all means let us know by ordering the next longest piece or pieces and indicate in the comment field the net length that you'd like for us to ship the material out at. Why? Well, if you had to take this 3-foot piece and cut it down to, say, 32-inch, you'd eliminate that countersunk hole that's there, then the next one's all the way over here. Saving you the trouble, if you ordered the net length, we'll be cutting it to length, drilling that hole, but sometimes what happens is people realize, I don't have a countersink that's that large, nor a large enough drill bit to kind of emulate a countersink. So keep in mind, if you need a custom length, by all means, order the next longest piece or pieces and indicate that length in the comment field, and that's how we'll ship it out for you. Now, I had said up to 8 feet. You can order lengths longer than 8 feet. We just don't list them because the cost to ship longer than 8 foot is generally prohibitive, especially for a single item, but it can absolutely be done. It just has to go common carrier, so the shipping charge, while not substantial when you divide it out over 20 14-foot lengths, on a single 10-foot length, it would be quite noticeable, the cost of shipping. There is finally a link below this video to the manufacturer's page where you can pull up not only all of the Zero products that we sell, but also a link to the manufacturer's website, as well as a link to the full product catalog. I'm quite partial to Zero in the sense that I'm very appreciative of the amount of work it took for the Zero product line to be developed. The amount of thought and engineering that went into solving weather stripping problems really sets Zero apart from other manufacturers. Translation, they have profiles and shapes that no one else has for problems that many other manufacturers cannot elegantly solve. Zero comes in. I like their fit and finish. I like the thickness of their extrusions. What we don't like, of course, sometimes are the lead times, and that has historically been longer than industry standard. However, when it comes to STC control, sound transmission control products, and other specialty items that they have like cam lift hinges, their material, while we'll have a lead time, will always be well worth the wait. If you have any questions on the Zero number 65A rabbited style threshold or any other Zero product, please feel free to reach out to us. And thank you.